Hope this email finds you well. Overworked and Underplayed is a not safe for work Dungeons and Dragons actual play podcast about a group of young professionals from the real world who find themselves transported to a strangely familiar place full of fantasy and magic. See attached for episode descriptions and content warnings. Thanks for listening.
All right, you got this. It's gonna be great. And it's not gonna go like last time. You and your friends got this. You can do this. Be the best version of you. Get that bitch rich, get revenge, kill her, take all her stuff. It's gonna be great. You're gonna do what goblins do. Nothing is going to stop you. Nothing at all. You and your friends just gonna go in there, knock down that building, kill the bitch rich, take her stuff, and then throw a massive party. You've got this. Because if you don't got this, then you can't be a good role model for your son.
Greetings, adventurers. This is Overworked and Underplayed, a D&D podcast for young professionals by young, well, we're kind of professionals. I am Alex Capps, your DM or district manager, and today's icebreaker, what career path would you choose if you could make a switch?
What up? It's your boy Marcel Hardy playing Richard Cox, a human consultant turned halfling bard who wholly believes it's better to be lucky than good, but it's best to be both. And if Richard could switch careers, he would do what every youngish millennial would want to do, and it's start a podcast.
Brilliant. Hello! My name is Annalyn Hardy. I forgot my name for a second, that's why I paused. And I play Taylor Jacobs, a centaur barbarian with a heart of gold. I'm not even retaking it. If I could go back and pick a different career, I would go into computer science so that I could come up with an idea and execute the idea and hopefully be my own boss.
I mean, if you want to be your own boss, you should just join Krystal Community.
Oh, God.
Yeah. On that note, hi everyone, I'm Katie and I play Krystal, the Drow Druid with her very own MLM, Krystal Clarity. And I think that if Krystal could go back in time, I think she would have chosen a semi-easier route of just being an influencer and not being an influencer / MLM owner. Because all she really likes is the free stuff and the attention. But she still loves what she does. She still loves helping people attain their productivity goals.
Hey, I'm Marjorie. I play Amy Ann Amanda, a basic B, rough and tumble human fighter with a freshly minted dentistry degree. Hands down, she would be a vet. She did her undergrad in zoology and would continue going on with that, but there's no way in the world she was even given that option. It was dentistry or nothing.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I play the icy paladin known as Bentley. And Bentley would choose Tyler's personal dream of being a fighter pilot.
Yeah, that's
Except
pretty badass.
he was too tall and was told he couldn't do it.
What?
Yeah, there's a high requirement. You got to be able to fit in the cockpit.
But yeah, either a fighter pilot or if he was better at it, professional League of Legends player. That would also be cool.
And I am Alex Capps, your DM or district manager. And as a DM, if I could choose a different career path, it would have been one of two, either player character, so I'd actually enjoy the game, or it would have been becoming a novelist, so at least I do the same amount of work, but I actually make some money at it.
Hey listeners, this show is made possible by the support of our awesome patrons. In addition to a thank you for their support, our patrons get an ad-free listening experience and access to exclusive bonus content. In the weeks between episodes, our patrons are getting an extra show where we recap episodes and talk about some of our favorite moments. For more details about what you can get by supporting us on Patreon, check us out at patreon.com/ownuppod.
All right, so when we last left off, Bentley had turned a bunch of goblins into a water balloon. Taylor Jacobs made a bugbear kebab. Let's see. And Krystal yeeted some more goblins into a tree. Amy Ann choked one out, and the owner of the house has returned.
Hey, we just needed to feed some vultures.
So we pick back up with Bentley lying in the grass, surrounded by death.
Bentley's gonna burn half his movement speed to stand back up, look around, and be like, that went both better and worse than I expected. Richard to be like, oh shit, I'm sorry, buddy, and he's gonna burn all of his lay on hands to heal him 25 points of HP.
Excellent thing.
So Richard's just screaming, covered in blood, and he feels someone grab his ankle.
I stood up. I said I stood up.
Oh, you're right. So he grabs you. He just places his hand on your head and heals you.
I was gonna say, even if I was laying down, couldn't I have grabbed his shoulder?
Oh. All right. Are you gonna do anything else?
No, I just stood up and I healed Richard. I feel better about myself because my underestimating how much damage that would cause everyone involved is now.
All right. Speaking of Richard, it is now your turn.
Okay, Richard's going to look around for that voice that we just heard.
So you see a very fancily dressed woman with a large hat carrying a basket with some kind of botanicals in it.
Would you happen to be Lilith?
Why, yes, I would. Who's asking?
We are in need of some help. Well, my name's Richard, and these are my friends and coworkers and acquaintances and all kinds of things. Yeah.
She says, yes, at least this was my house.
Richard.
Yeah, how much of that did you see?
She says, well, I just came out of the thicket and saw everything going on over here, so I guess not much of anything. Who damaged the wall of my house?
There's the goblins that we just stopped.
And she says, you mean like that one? And points at the one Amy Ann's holding.
Yeah, we had to keep one alive for questioning.
You see as she points a finger at it, and it just like turns to dust right there in her hands.
Oh my god!
She says, he won't be bothering anybody now.
I suppose not.
And she just casually walks in between all of you, opens up her door, which is right next to this big gaping hole, and closes, leaves the door open. She goes, you may enter if you wish.
Richard's like, I don't know, guys. I'm kind of scared.
Oh, this is what we came here for, so we may as well.
In for a penny.
If she kills you, I'll revive you.
You can do that?
I don't know, maybe. I actually don't think I can right now.
All right, well, after you, Bentley.
No. You know what they say, beauty before age.
Taylor walks through the door.
We bump shoulders as we're
I could just see you say that, and the three of Taylor and Krystal are both like fighting each other, trying to get in the door first.
No.
Yeah.
We're fighting. We're just awkward.
Taylor's.
You do the thing. We're like, oh, were they talking about? I thought they were talking about me. Were they talking about you?
Taylor's gonna channel her inner tour and be like, "After you, my lady."
Oh God.
Bentley loses 5 HP.
We're just like, I don't know. I don't like what this world's doing to us.
You just see Bentley cough up blood like anime style for no reason. He can breathe fine, but just blood comes up.
Yeah.
A man will walk through the giant hole in the wall and not the door.
Somebody's got to do it.
She turns, she says, you know it's bad luck to walk through an opening to a house and not the doorway.
I've never heard that before. Wow. Is that really true?
She just said it was, so I would assume so.
She looks at you, she says, well, I wouldn't lie to you, now would I?
Well, I suppose not. Okay, so I'll leave and come through the door.
Now,
back out through the hole.
Yeah, I walked back through I walked her out.
Now, and you see as she has a small, like a round kitchen table. She says, go ahead, have a seat. What brings you this far out from the city?
Well, we have, So, do you know Aiden Montiac?
Oh, yes. I am quite fond of Captain Montiac.
Okay, cool.
Would you guys, would any of you like some tea? I'm about to pour a kettle.
For the first time in this adventure, Richard's like, I don't think I should take that.
Bentley decides, sure, he'll take the tea because he feels a little bit bad.
Okay. Anyone else?
Oh, no, thank you, ma'am. What?
Richard
So
will
can,
accept a cup, but he has no intention of actually drinking out of
Okay,
it.
so she pours a couple of cups of tea and hands them out. So, what brings you this far out? What are you seeking that you need, Miss Shadowgran?
I actually forgot why we were-
Shadow
What-
Gran?
what does
Like
she look
grandma?
like, Alex? What does she look like?
So,
Other than having a big hat. I mean, what is she?
well, she's taking the hat off because she's indoors.
Okay.
But
Also
She's a
bad luck,
respectable
right?
lady.
yeah, she has dark curly hair that goes about shoulder length. She wears pretty fine, what appears to be like a kind of fine, like almost like a Little House on the Prairie style dress. And
Cottage core.
her house is cottage core to the max, or at
Okay.
least it was. Now it's kind of ruin core to the max. And you see, as she's talking, she begins waving her fingers, and you see some of the stones begin going back into position in the wall.
Oh my goodness.
She says, "This will take a little time to fix, but it's nothing that a special touch can't handle." So I was thinking, she says, "I was thinking of doing an addition, anyways."
That's good. So we're here because there seems to be somebody that is actively pretending to be me, and there might be more than one somebody, so I really couldn't tell you. But it seems to be just one bad thing after the next, and we're trying to figure out if you can help us figure out what to do.
So you see, is when you mention someone impersonating you, she immediately does a 180, pulls a chair up from the table, slides in with her cup of tea. She says, "Oh, honey, do tell. I love a good case of drama."
She wants you to spill the tea.
Oh, nice.
Her cup is actually empty. She's waiting.
Yeah. Well, you see, and like, I don't really want to do a whole bunch of exposition, but
Right.
Krystal tells her from top to bottom exactly what's happened since they got here.
She
Yeah,
says,
but is it from Krystal's point of view, or is it like the truth?
"Ooh,
I feel like
They're one and the same.
Right.
we would all be there to like help correct if there were some like missing facts or anything like that. So I feel like that. Are we? I'm checking with
I definitely can sense there'd be a few Taylor Jacobs. Well,
Well, Krystal, I'm gonna bracelet in and say, Krystal, are you sure we want to tell her every single thing?
What does it hurt?
I don't know. I was just checking before
Like, let's not tell her we're gonna kill Krystal, right? We're just
Oh, well, that hasn't happened yet. So I was just telling her what happened.
okay. Or we could and ask for killy thing, whatever.
So-
Anyway, continue.
So
Wait.
she leans in. She says, "Well, it sounds to me like there's a few different things you could be ailing from, darling. Starting from the top, it could be someone using illusion magic, but this seems pretty convincing for so many. I have a hard time believing just a simple little magic trick would be causing all this grief. Perhaps it's something a bit more solid." She says, "Honey, let me see your hands."
Krystal like uncomfortably hands them over.
And you see as she begins drawing her unnaturally long fingers along your palm and your of your hand and along your fingers, and almost like she's tracing lines out and trying to read some indecipherable language. And she
Krystal's
says,
trying to throw up from some weird person's long fingers touching her hand.
Are you body shaming?
No, she just doesn't. It's a thing. It's like a,
Yeah. I bet her hands are like, are they
Anything mean
cold?
to her?
"Oh, she is unnaturally cold."
Yeah. Yep. Krystal's definitely trying not to gag.
She says, "You are quite peculiar. These hands don't belong to you."
That's what we're saying.
Your soul has not always inhabited this form, has it?
No, it hasn't. I used to look pretty normal. In fact, pretty human, even one might say.
So interesting. The lot of you are interesting. She looks at Taylor Jacobs and she goes, you are also quite unique, aren't you?
Do you want to see my ass? And she changed into a horse.
She said, honey, if I had a nickel for every time I'd heard that. Yes, go
She was
ahead.
horny. She has horny vibes. Anyway.
So you turn into
Life is disappointing.
centaur. You turn into centaur mode.
Yeah, and then go back.
Wow, now that is some strong magic coming off of you. What about? And she turns and she looks at Richard and she goes, not about half the man you used to be.
Exactly.
Oh, we. Woo.
Ooh, wow, Ooh.
Sheesh.
She looks and she sees Bentley and she goes, and you
Twice the man you used to be.
you like hiding behind that big suit of armor, don't you?
I mean, it's pretty comfortable, I'm not gonna lie.
Interesting. She sits there for a minute and she goes, you came here for me to use my arts to inquire for you, didn't you? You want to know more about this person causing you all these problems.
Yes, that is what I've been saying this whole time.
She says, well, I'll do this for you. She said, but you must know it comes at a price.
Of course. What's your price?
Oh, it's not for me, honey, but sometimes knowing the truth is its own form of payment.
What is it?
Ominous.
Oh, because once you know the truth, you can't go back. Are you sure you want to know?
Like go back home? Or
No, you can't go back to your blissful ignorance.
this hasn't been very blissful, so I think I'm okay. You can tell me.
Suit yourself. You see as she pulls out a dusty old box of cards and shuffling them up, and she says, lay your hands on the table face down.
Oh, just to be clear, ma'am, what is the cost?
Penny pincher Amy Ann.
She says, there's no material cost. It is purely verbal and somatic.
Okay, so we're not gonna lose part of our souls or anything like that.
Oh, heavens no. I'm not some kind of fiend or hag or something of that nature.
Okay, well, I'm sorry if I offended. I was just curious.
If you are too concerned, why don't you ask him? And she points at Bentley.
What? Oh, I mean, I guess I could do that and just do divine sense. Like, it took me a second to realize. Oh, I guess I could.
Bentley, what are you talking about? You mean you can determine if there are bad guys or good guys around?
No. I can determine. I don't know. I cast
Why
divine.
haven't you been doing this the whole time?
I have been.
We all have
so
things
when
we
you-
can do now that we didn't know we could do before.
Bentley, when you cast your divine sense, you would pick up that she is Fae.
Faye, okay. Yeah, no, she's alright, I guess.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I guess it depends on the nature of the Faye.
Yeah. And so she begins dealing cards face down. She turns to Krystal one last time. She says, once again, you're sure you want to know, right?
Is this like a deck of many things?
It is not a deck of many things.
That would be really cool if it was.
I thought about pulling out the deck of many things, but there are way too many things in that would completely derail our campaign.
Entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yep,
I
I'm
wish
ready.
we had a deck of many things.
Be careful what you wish for. She begins flipping over cards, Krystal.
It's one of my favorite plot points.
And as she hovers her hands over the face down card, she says, now all of you come closer and let me peer into the tangled threads of your fates. Let's see. And she's
After you do stare, is this gonna be like a set in stone type thing? Like, is there any wiggle room?
she
with
says,
the
honey, the
fates?
future is always in flux. There is nothing set in stone.
Okay, great.
Except for taxes. Taxes, those are pretty well set in stone. You can't avoid those. They will come after you. This world or the next.
Death and taxes. That's what they say.
I get this is the Joker not wanting to fuck with the IRS vibes.
Yeah. It's like, Batman, nothing. But the IRS, you don't mess with them. She says, okay, your future. I sense a tapestry. I see threads of hope and despair.
Okay.
Beware the path ahead, for it was fraught with peril and hidden foes. Trust not in what you can see, but in what lies beneath. This card, and she flips over a card that looks like a judge, speaks of a trial yet to come, of battles fought and destinies entwined.
Taylor's taking notes, by the way, so we have a record of what exactly she said.
Let's see. A veil of lies draped upon the truth. Someone wears the face of another, a shadow hiding in plain sight. A charade woven into the fabric of destiny. She looks and she says, two faces, one soul. A doppelganger walks among you. You have caught the eye of a changeling.
Two faces, one soul?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
I think it's one person.
That's you, Krystal. Right?
Did you just call me Two-Faced to me?
No, because you had your original face, and now you have your new face, but you have the same soul, so it's like same soul, two faces.
Oh.
Honey,
I think you guys stopped listening. She said, I don't know what a changeling is, but she said you caught the attention of one of those things.
Yeah,
Maybe that's the Two-Face.
Maybe so.
have you ever worn a mask before, Miss Krystal?
Like to a party?
Any occasion could count.
Yes.
Well, you know as well as I do, a mask may hide the face, but it cannot conceal the essence within. The truth rises to the surface like a small stone cast into still water.
Wouldn't those sink?
Not if they're really little. No, I'm just kidding.
What big teeth you have, Grandma.
Yeah. No, she says, you need to find some way to get this imposter to reveal their true colors.
Oh, so just like what Richard said earlier, we just let her go down with the other sinking ship. See what happens.
What are you talking about?
Richard, why don't you explain your plan?
And Richard explains the plan.
She hears the plan and says, that might work. The real secret with a changeling is that you really have to get it angry.
I feel like putting everybody that like is owed something at like I feel like turning their attention towards her would really piss her off.
It could potentially. But what I'm telling you, darling, is that you got to get them. You got to get them unfocused. You got to get them. They can't maintain their form once you do. Or if you could find some way to expose them for what they truly are.
No need to take this offline. Overworked and Underplayed will circle back after these messages.
Whether it's a mark, a sound, a memory, something that they don't know.
What about the ringtone on your phone?
No one's probably called it.
What's a phone?
Yeah, yes.
Is that weird brick thing that she was talking into when I peered into her fate?
Yeah.
100% that, yeah.
Why would you talk into a brick? I'm confused.
She's
Because
crazy.
other people are talking back to you.
So you hear people talking through a brick?
It's like Anne Bentley remembers something you read in the library. It's like a sending stone.
Oh, okay.
So so sorry. She's acting like she's upset about someone talking into a brick, but a stone is totally fine.
Two different things.
Two different firm objects. Oh, got it. Cool. How else would we make her angry enough to lose her cool? Like
Well, see, changelings don't fit in anywhere in most societies, so they adapt their form so that they find a place for themselves. Once you expose them, they become vulnerable, and it makes them unable to retain their form and show the true colors. It really is getting them off their game, so to speak.
So do we need to figure out who they were before they took my identity?
That could help.
Okay. I wouldn't know where to begin with that. I kind of just want to piss her off. It seems like the easiest way to go.
Oh yeah, Krystal wants to piss someone off. Yeah. Sir,
That makes sense, Katie. Like digging up some dirt on her past.
go full TMZ.
We could. It just means we have to figure out where she came from, though, is the problem. Like, there's a lot of information we don't know to get to.
She says, "Well, since the rest of you are here, is anybody else wanting their fortune?"
Yeah.
Yes, would love it. Would love to. Would love to know.
Okay, well, who's
Read
next?
into pasts.
Past, futures, it's all the same. Time is a circle.
Maybe she can help you uncover some hidden family memories, Amy Ann.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay. Ooh.
About the Seekers.
Mm. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Just can I get like a blanket reading? Is that okay?
You prefer down.
She says,
That's good. That's good. Marcel.
wow.
What is that?
No,
blank.
that one took me a second. That was pretty good.
That was
All right.
good.
So she says, okay, you said, Miss Amanda, could you place your hands on the table as your friend did before?
Yes, ma'am.
And she begins placing the cards down. She says, interesting. Your eyes may deceive, but your heart knows the truth. There is a person you're trying to discover the identity of, but you don't even realize you already know.
Anything more specific than that?
It appears that your friend lies close to your family's heart.
Huh. How would I? So, in your years of experience, ma'am, how would I go about determining like if he's related to me or not? Do you guys have like genetic tests here?
She says, no, but I have an idea. Now, this one, it's not risky, but there's a high chance of failure. Do you wish to proceed? Your brain, it appears your mind is blocking something from being able to be seen.
Really? Okay. Is it like a traumatic response or something? Like one time I watched a really scary movie and then I couldn't remember it because it was too scary?
Potentially.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, Amy Ann, so I'm just going to let y'all know you have 3 good omens and 2 bad omens. I need you to make me a history check to see if this is going to work. Now, would you like to spend a good omen?
Can I roll it first to see?
You know what? Yeah, I'll let you roll first, but I can't.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you whether you succeed or fail.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's how we usually play it, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you roll it and then okay. Okay. And you said it was history?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Yes, I would like a good omen, please.
All right. What's your history modifier?
-1.
You roll. So with your -1 and spending the good omen.
But I have a +2 token to add to any D20 roll.
Okay.
So I would
you want to add that? Okay.
Yeah.
So with your -1 and your +2, that would give you a +1. You got a 21.
Yay.
It rolled a 20. And she's like, place your hands in mine and we'll see if we can unlock this memory.
Oh no. Okay.
And what you you feel this weird surge come over you.
Uh-huh.
And you see a flash of images. You see your grandfather, your father, and your uncle all arguing about something.
Uh-huh.
Then you see your father and your uncle arguing at your grandfather's funeral.
Okay.
And then you remember the last family reunion that you guys had up on the Great Lakes. Your uncle was not there. And no one knew where he was.
And that was how long ago?
That was like 15 years ago.
Spoiler alert, your dad's a murderer. Killed your uncle, got rid of the body.
That's not dark enough.
Her father is her uncle.
Ew.
Okay,
Oh,
this takes place in Georgia, not Mississippi.
Okay.
There's other ways for that to happen, but sure.
In my memories, do I clearly see what my uncle looks like?
yes.
Does he look like Darturian?
Well, he wasn't wearing a mask, so
Does he have the same height, build, coloring,
His teeth.
manner, his teeth? Would I recognize his teeth?
I don't know that you've gotten close enough to Dr. D, but what I would say is now that you remember this,
Mm-hmm.
that you could possibly make an identification in the future.
Okay. I wouldn't say, because we did examine teeth the first time we met him.
Mhm.
Like, we sat in that ride for a really long time. Like
You know what? Okay, then do this. I
Okay.
want you to make a... We're going to do this. I'm going to spend one of your bad omens.
Okay. Arguing with the DM, not a good thing to do.
I'm going to spend one of the bad omens, and I want you to roll a insight check with disadvantage to see if you can recall enough information about his teeth from like weeks ago.
Okay. It's not good. It's like 5.
I'll put it this way: you've seen enough now that you would know what to look for now, if that makes sense.
Is there anything that would prevent me from being like, oh, he's my uncle?
I mean, I would say there's probably an equal amount of stuff that would prevent or not prevent you from saying that right now. I mean, he could
Okay.
be your uncle, he could be Richard's uncle, he could be anybody's uncle. But you are finding it weird
Okay.
that you asked about him and you saw images of your family.
Yeah. Okay. So is that the risky thing that you're talking about?
Well, yeah, now you know. There's things that you may know that
Okay.
you didn't know before.
Was there any other memories?
I'm sorry. The risky part was that it might not work.
Oh. Okay.
That wasn't like you were gonna like lose half your memories. No, it was that you may not see anything.
Oh, okay. And what is my uncle's name that I would absolutely know this already?
So your uncle is named Adrian Austin Amanda.
Triple A. Austin spelled with an O. A-O.
That's the secret hidden family.
And he's my dad's brother.
Yes.
Okay.
And his son that is the candy and soda distributor.
Oh, Adrian's son is the bad one?
Yeah,
Or
he's
the
the
black
one.
sheep? Okay.
Yeah, he's the black sheep of the family because he works for the sugar industry.
Well, that sounds like the
Really,
perfect
it's like a
person. Like an inside.
symbiotic. Yeah,
Right.
relationship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anybody else want their fortune?
Yeah, Taylor would like hers.
She begins turning your cards over, and she says, "Oh, honey," she said, "I see a life filled with sadness." She says, "Unless you discover your true calling."
What is that? What
Oh,
is
that's
my
for you.
problem?
That's for you to figure out.
It's computer science.
I know. It's like, I have to go back.
She's
to
like,
school.
I'm going back to school as soon as we get back. Student loans be damned.
Do you have any idea?
She says, no, I'm not here. I'm not necessarily here to give you a direct answer. I'm here to help you find your answer.
So I'm just gonna be sad.
Unless you change your path. Make yourself happy for once instead of trying to make everyone else happy.
Ooh.
That's really hard. Okay. Thank you. That helps.
She turns, she goes, who's next?
Taylor's
Richard's
like,
like-
super short. She got the Twitter version back.
Richard's like, I'm good. The only thing I care about right now is us getting home, and I don't need to know if that works or doesn't work. Like, I have to believe that it's going to.
Yeah, in the words of Doc Brown, knowing too much about your future could be a bad thing, so I'm good.
She says, well, do any of you want to help me fix this wall you demolished?
Sure
Absolutely.
thing. Happy to help.
Also, who demolished?
She turns and she looks directly at Bentley.
Because she saw the past or whatever.
It's all your fault.
Your thoughts betrayed you.
That's funny. She got it confirmed 3 times.
She got a really good view when she looked at Krystals.
She saw it all unfold.
That's funny. Yeah,
So
we'll help her
yes.
rebuild her wall that Taylor Jacobs demolished.
Yeah. And she says, y'all go on ahead and work on those bricks, and I'll see about whipping up some dinner for everybody after you work up that sweat.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're brick workers now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She makes as you're all working through the afternoon, you make quick work of it. She adds a little bit of magic to kind of help things move along. But when you're all done, she brings out a cauldron of rabbit stew.
Damn, no chicken fried steak. I'm disappointed.
Well, that would require gravy, which is a kind of sauce.
Oh, you're right.
Nice.
And as we determined, only the cult communism has sauce.
Yeah. The one y'all destroyed.
We ruined this world's only chance of a good time.
And so, unless you guys have anything else you want to try to get from her, you can head back to the city, or what do you do next?
Okay, so Amy Ann would like to kind of catch her and talk to her like privately.
Okay.
So away from everybody else. And she says, thank you so much for that I guess past reading. I was wondering if you had any like maybe words of wisdom for me, because I've really been going through a tough time with all of these these challenges. I'm really not feeling like myself, but unlike most of the other gang here, I don't really look any different from when we were from home to here. So I don't know. Do you have anything you can like advice you can give me?
She leans in and she motions for you to come over to the back corner of the cottage.
Uh-huh.
She looks at you and she says, the little one there, Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eye on him.
Oh, okay. I mean, he does get lost pretty easily in crowds because he's so short. So
He will face a tough decision soon,
okay.
and he will need those there to make sure he makes the right choice.
Okay. What is can you be more specific? Like, is it like a good choice, bad choice, one way or the other, right, left, up, down?
Honey, there are even rules to what I'm allowed to say.
Oh, like grammar rules, or
Sure, we'll go with that. Something like grammar rules.
okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So do we finish up? Is that
And fun. Not cryptic at all.
Right.
So Bentley, are you going to try to summon the mighty Toyota Tacoma again to take y'all back to the city?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Hey, Bentley, no offense, but I'm driving.
No, you can't.
Oh,
Just my
shit.
spell. It doesn't work that way.
Oh, well, I guess I'm walking then.
All right, that's fine.
So technically speaking, she could drive it, Bentley. It's just she doesn't get double the vehicle proficiency bonus.
Yeah, I'm good driving. I drove over here fine. I don't know what your issue
Well,
is.
it's not
We were
that-
in
it's not that-
combat. I killed like a bunch of goblins in one go. It's a win-win.
Remember when you also almost killed Richard and all of us?
I
And
healed
made
him.
us do like 5 hours worth of work? Putting the wall back together? I remember that.
You got stew. That's all you want out of life.
Don't presume to know what I want, Bentley.
It was a pretty good stew.
Okay, so we'll just bicker the
Taylor's
entire
like,
time.
Everyone wear your seat belts. Everyone wear your seat belts.
She's looking directly at Amy.
Right?
Seat belts, everyone.
Beep, beep.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay.
I'm just imagining
Back in
like Amy Ann's on one side, Taylor Jacobs on the other, and Krystal's just kind of stuffed in the middle seat. Like,
Yeah.
You know, the small butt has to go in the middle, so makes sense.
So it should be Richard. That's what I'm hearing.
oh,
Well, he's shotgun. He's permanent shotgun.
Yeah,
actually, it would be pretty funny if y'all got a booster seat made for Richard to go in the
We'll have
third
to do
row,
that when we get
or
into
the middle row.
when we get back into town.
Yeah.
I really will. Especially with the track record we seem to be developing. Yeah, I'm
So
not ready
what-
to get back in again.
What are we talking about? Does anybody want to talk about anything on the way there? If not, I have some stuff. So,
Tell us.
oh, okay. So I'm gonna do the exposition dump to them about my memories about my family and how I'm pretty sure now that Darkarian is probably related, but I don't know. There's something weird. Maybe got corrupted somehow, something like that. And then also I'll tell Richard, like I'll lean over, hey Richard. She also told me some like ominous stuff about you, so maybe we should talk about it later. But just so you know, we're here to help. We're here to support each other. Okay.
Okay, cool, I guess. I don't know what that means. But don't you guys, and then Richard's going to say this to the group as a whole, don't you guys find it weird that every time we talk to people, they either tell us something we already know or it's some weird, vague thing that we can't do anything with?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is frustrating. Mm-hmm.
I really
We
thought a witch would help us, but
I mean, you're right. We really were banking on that witch idea to get us home.
Yeah.
And who knows?
yeah.
But it was a good idea. I still think that. Maybe there's more than one witch.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna say with the amount of time that's happened, you guys are either gonna have to do a push to make it back to the city you're gonna have to push to make it back to the city before you'd have to make a Constitution save, or you're gonna have to make camp for the night.
Well, I guess we'll make camp for the night in the Fun V.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be that far, right? It only took us like an hour and a half to get here.
Yeah, but better. May as well camp in. I mean, the thing's capable of it. I totally don't just want to test it out or anything.
But you don't want to test out those awesome lights I saw on the top and in the front? Like, we could be driving around and it'd be bright as day outside.
Ooh, he's right. What? Hit the right buttons. We're driving through the night.
So you're trying to push on to get to town before the adventuring day's over?
Yeah, I may as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
if everyone else can rest in the back and I can drive, it's not like it's that big a deal.
I'm sure that won't go poorly.
Well, Richard,
one of the
there are
early-
certain responsibilities of
All
shotgun.
right, so
Richard,
Tyler,
Bentley,
I'm gonna need you to make me a vehicle handling check.
Literally, the only thing I roll good at is these vehicle handling checks. 15 plus 7, so that is 22.
Okay, yeah, you managed to get the vehicle back to the city without a problem. some of the people are starting to doze off in the back seat, and you're just kind of cruising along. One thing I will say is that the vehicle comes equipped with road trip tunes. So whatever, there's like a...
No. It literally only plays the 500 miles by...
Oh, God. Okay, but How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
No one else
funny.
but Tyler could consistently listen to that for a road trip at the time.
All right,
It's that or Nickelback, so...
so you guys make it back.
Nickelback has more than one song. You're listening to the same song.
Yeah, they have more than one song. They just all sound the same.
That was the joke, thank you.
So you guys make it back to the crow's nest, and I would say I think it'd be really funny if Bentley's truck had a clicker, and whenever he dismissed the spell, it was like it was locking the doors or something. But anyways,
That's cute.
you guys make it back, and Aiden Montiok is still asleep. But one of the other workers comes up and he says, "Miss Krystal, this letter arrived for you. It looks official."
Oh, good.
And you see a summons from the Lord Protector of Lavron, stating that he was able to get your case moved from the courts to the Arbitorius Supreme. It would be a binding arbitration between you and one High Priestess Krystal of the Church of Clarity.
Okay. Well, that's something. It looks like maybe the Lord Protector's making good on his promises. Look at this, everybody.
Yeah, and it is scheduled for 3 days from today.
Cool.
Well,
All
I
right.
guess we'll start prepping.
So you guys turn in for the night. You feel a weird sort of comfort come over you because you actually feel like you're starting to accomplish a few of like you're getting closer to some of your goals. And as you drift off to sleep, Krystal, you begin to have a weird dream. You see a meadow with a bubbling brook, and you see a person knelt down near the stream. They glance out over the water, and you see this almost nondescript face as they take a sip from the creek. And it is about that time, loud thuds begin to land all around them as they look up and see this giant purple swirl in the sky. And then they get hit on the head by this familiar-looking rectangular object that you recognize as your cell phone. You see this nondescript person holding your cell phone and looking at boxes of merchandise labeled Crystal Clarity. And you hear her say, "That'll do."
A gratitude today keeps the haters away, and that's why we want to thank you for listening to Overworked and Underplayed. You just heard Alex Capps as RDM, Annalyn Hardy as Taylor Jacobs, Katie as Krystal 2.0, Marjorie as Amy Ann, Marcel Hardy as Richard Cox, and Tyler as Bentley. Episodes are edited by Marcel, and Circle Back episodes are edited by Katie. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll circle back in 2 weeks on August 8th for the next episode. You can help us to get the word out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow us on social at OwnUpPod, that's OWNUPPOD, subreddit r/OwnUp.
Greeting. Sounded almost like a ghost farted.
I was leaning back in the desk chair.
Right.